Welcome back to Across the Ocean, guys, to our celebratory episode number 30. My name is Matthias from Zurich.
And I'm James in Miami.
So good to see all your smiling faces again, guys, for this very special celebratory episode that we're having here today. James, as always, of course, great to see your smiling face over there on the other side.
Great to see you too, buddy. As always, a pleasure to be here.
Touching my heart, touching my heart. How has the summer been treating you so far?
Well, fantastic. I'm actually in the middle right now of packing for the sardine run. And, surprise announcement, on my way back from the sardine run, I will be having a little bit of a layover in Zurich. So,
guess where you're going?
Well,
who are you going to be spending your time with?
I have friends in Zurich, and we could maybe create some content and eat some delicious food and enjoy this creative partnership that we've been growing here on Across the Ocean, and yeah, shoot some more content. You guys may remember that on the last sardine run in 2021, on my way to South Africa, I had a very quick stopover in Zurich, rushed to Matthias's studio. We shot a video for his channel, an episode of Across the Ocean, and a video for my channel. So this time we have maybe a little bit more time to hang out, and yeah, it's not going to be run and gun. We can actually plan something out and hang for a little while. So that's going to be really awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing you, buddy.
Yeah, me too. So this is going to be, we'll be doing this the organized way this time.
Yeah.
Can't wait. Can't wait. Excellent. So for today's episode number 30 it already is, we have come up with something quite special. I think we're gonna be talking with you and sharing with you guys our file structure, the way that we save our video files in our systems. Because just before we started rolling, we were talking about this, and it turns out that we have slightly different ways of keeping that file structure together, and we really wanted to share that with you. And I also want to say at this point that there is no right or wrong way of keeping that file structure and organizing your files and all that sort of stuff. As long as you can find what you're looking for, you're doing it the right way for you. But nevertheless, we want to share how we are approaching, or how we approach this topic, and maybe you can take one or two tips from that and improve your file structuring system in the future. So I know that you have been to Malta not so long ago, right?
Yes, yeah. Was in Malta, and you were in the Maldives?
I was in the Maldives also not so long ago. So why don't we use these projects to show our audience how we structure our files and how that system works. And I'd like to pass it right on to you, James, and let you talk about your system first. Is that all right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So Matthias is being very kind when he says there's no right or wrong way. What he means is I'm a disorganized mess and he is Swiss. I'm very organized and tidy. And when we were talking about this before the cameras rolled, I was shamed Game of Thrones style. It was brutal. It was absolutely brutal. I was like, and you do that? Oh my God, and you do that as well? Oh, I'm like living in a cave compared to you. It's not cool. But I will take you through it because it's fine. Whatever, I'll show you. I'll show you my screen share of my file organization. It's pretty basic what I do. But to Matthias's point, when you come back from a trip and you've done multiple days of diving and your SD cards are full and maybe you've shot on a bunch of different cameras and you've got different footage shot in different resolutions and this, that and the other, yes, there is definite value and importance in organizing your footage. So if you come to edit a project and put footage together into something, and everything we do here on the channel is about getting you guys to create a video that you are proud to show your friends and family the beauty of the underwater world and the adventures that you guys go on. That's the whole point of everything we do on Across the Ocean. So if we can make that easier for you with a little bit of file organization, so that when you come to the editing desk, things are more laid out and obvious, then I'm all for that. And I think there's definitely good value there. So when you're shooting, you know, I have very large, high quality SD cards in my GH5, in my GoPro. I always buy like the biggest volume that you can buy and the highest quality cards. So even when I do, I mean, Malta was 3 days of filming, but if you do a sardine run, I'm filming for 2 weeks. I didn't really dump footage that much. I got a double slot with, you know, tons of gigabytes of filming. So it all lives on the cards. So then when I come home, I've got to dump that footage, but now I've just got a list of files shot in chronological order. So it's a mess. So the first thing I do when I'm organizing the folders is I will start a new folder for that trip. And all my folders are organized geographically by country. So if it was, for example, Malta, I would have a Malta folder, okay? Inside that folder, I would make another folder that says the specific trip. So in this case, it was RF4 2023. Okay, cool. So now I've got that folder. So if I go to Malta again, it will be in the Malta folder, but it will have a new project or a new time on it, new date. So in that RF4 folder, then I will have a folder that has each individual camera in it. So I'll have a GH5, and then I'll have maybe a GoPro and maybe an iPhone, which are the 3 cameras that I shot on when I was in Malta. So let's go into the GH5 folder then, and you're going to notice that I have now organized the files by the day and the date. Now this may be a specific dive that I did, or it may just be labeled day 1. Depending on the project. If I'm shooting above and below water, there may be some diving involved. You go into day 1 and you're going to see, okay, now I can see underwater footage. Maybe I'll put the resolution in there as well. This was shot 60 frames per second, 4K, etc, etc. I might have some topside footage, so that will be in a separate folder, and so on and so forth. So now I've got a file structure where I know, okay, on day 1, here are my underwater shots that I got from the Nauticam housing. This is some land shots I took of us packing the truck or standing on the dock doing our pre-dive checks or whatever that may be, or all that stuff may be on a different camera, in which case GoPro and iPhone folders. So that's about as organized as I get in terms of file structure. And then I know when I'm coming back to edit, for example, a film that I put out from Malta was showing those 3 dives, and I wanted 3 underwater segments of dive 1, dive 2, dive 3. I know where to find each of those different dives footage. So that's basically as organized as I get, and it takes me an incredible amount of effort to get to that level of organization. I mean, it is painful, it is dragging myself across hot coals because it doesn't come naturally to me. Matthias, on the other hand, is Swiss, so organization comes very naturally to him. So I'm going to hand back to you, sir, because you take it to a whole different level with file labeling and H tags and searchable. Go on, just go.
Thank you, but I can't really take all the credit for it because, as you said, being Swiss, this is something that just, you know, we're born with this. We don't really have to learn it or do anything. We just, as soon as we can walk or write, we start labeling stuff and organizing it, and it's just the way it is. I can't really help it. But it does make my life so much easier, because what I really hate and what really upsets me is if I know that I've got one specific shot that I took a couple years back and I know I want that shot for a specific project, or even just a client asks for a specific shot and I know I've got it, but if I can't find it, it drives me crazy. And the labeling structure really helps me to find every single shot that I want to find, and I'll get to that in a minute. But first of all, I want to briefly touch on what you were saying about not dumping the footage before you get home and buying the largest cards and stuff. And that's perfectly fine if you want to do this. I personally have decided against this, and I try to drop and to download all the footage every single evening, because that way I save myself the time to have to do it all at the end, where I'm trying then to look at the timestamps of the clips and try to figure out which one was taken at which side and where the cut is between dive 1 and dive 2 and all that sort of stuff. But by knowing, okay, this is all the footage from day 1, I can put it in the folders and it's tucked away. I also know that I have a backup. I always do backups. That's another Swiss thing, that you're trying to increase security on everything. So I always do backups on location as well. So I put it on one hard drive, I back it up on a second hard drive, so I have redundancy in case, you know, and one hard drive goes into my checked-in luggage, the other one comes with me on the airplane. So if anything happens, I still have a copy of all the footage that I've taken throughout the trip. It's what I do. It's basically what I live for. In any case, so the way I structure my footage is very similar to what you have explained before, James. So it goes into day 1, the date of the day, and then I have dive 1. I also put the name of the dive site into the folder name. So let's say dive 1, I don't know, Turtle Rock. Dive 2, Fish Rock, whatever their dive sites are called. And then inside these folders, I then have the individual folders of all the individual cameras that I've used. Now on the Maldives trip, I had my Red Komodo with me, I had a GoPro with me, my iPhone, I had a Insta360 at some of the dives, I had a drone, I had a Canon R6 that I used for above water footage. I think that's about it. So there's a couple of folders in there, and then I dump all the footage from these cameras in there. So then I've got a very basic, but a very organized structure. And I know if I'm looking for a clip on land, taken with the R6, I can go into that folder and I'll find it in there. And then after the trip, once I've got all that on my hard drive, I come home. The first thing I do is hook that hard drive up to my Dropbox, and I just upload all the footage onto my Dropbox. So that's my third sort of contingency, my third backup that goes onto the Dropbox. And then once it's on there, I know it's safe unless, you know, the world goes under and Dropbox collapses and I lose all my footage. But other than that, it's pretty safe there. And then what I do, I go through all the clips, every single clip that I've taken, and I trim it. So I go through the clip, I look at the clip and I go, okay, I like it from here to here. This is a part that I like. And I will color grade the clip, I will export it, and then I will name it in a very specific way. Let's say this is a clip of a diver swimming alongside a coral reef. So I'll name the clip Diver, and then a brief description, scuba diver swimming along coral reef, or colorful coral reef, whatever you want to call it. Then I place the date, so the month and the year. So let's say May 2023. And just recently I've started to add the camera name to the end of the description of the tagging as well. So I know that this has been taken, for example, with the Red Komodo. And I know that there is a raw file available for this clip as well. And once I've done that, I export the clip, and then it sits in a specific folder where I keep all my stock footage. Some of these clips I will upload to different stock footage agencies. Other ones will just sit there for later use. And now the easiest way to find these clips is to, like, if you're on Dropbox, but I think it also works on a Mac computer, an Apple computer, you can just select that folder, your stock footage folder, whatever you want to call it, your favorites, and just type in whatever you're looking for. So if I'm looking for a shot of a diver, I can just type in diver, and then it will just show all the files that have diver anywhere in the file name. And I've got all the clips right there, and I can click through them. I can look at which one fits my needs the best right now, pull that down and use it for the project that I'm using, that I'm working on. So that's the way how I label and organize the footage. It is a little more time consuming, I agree, but it helps me in the long run, I think, by being able to find footage a little quicker that way. So yeah, but as we said at the beginning, and I want to stress this, there is no wrong or right way of doing this. If you can organize your footage whatever way you want, as long as you can find the stuff when you need it. I mean, that's all that matters. And if you find a way of how to do this easier, then, well, let us know down in the comment section below. I'd be very curious to hear about your approach on labeling and organizing your footage and being able to find it when you need it as well.
Dude.
Is this too Swiss?
Just waves of shame are washing over me right now. Just a tsunami of embarrassment is
Stop
what,
it, stop
you
it,
know,
stop it.
Thanks for letting me go first, bud. Appreciate it. Thank you. Cool.
Come on, we talked about this before, didn't we?
We did. We did. This is probably your favorite episode because we're talking about organization of all the ones we've done.
I loved it. I loved it. It's probably a very long episode too because it felt like I was talking forever. But
and you were getting more excited, and then you named this, and now I had the camera names. And come on, man. I mean, come on, dude.
Yeah,
you take it to the next level every time. I learn something from you.
It is a special
every
topic
time.
for me, so
you know.
Well, hopefully we were able to share some insights and share some maybe tips and tricks with you on this topic today, guys. And if that's the case, then, well, please let us know. Anyways, if you have another way of tagging, organizing, structuring your footage, I'm really keen on learning about this because there's always other and always better ways of doing stuff. And even I can get more organized and more efficient. So if I can learn something from you guys, let me know down in the comment section below. I'd really like to hear how you approach this topic here. So I think that's pretty much it for today. I can't really go anymore. I'm getting so excited. Otherwise, we won't bring this video to an end at all. Which I don't want to. Yeah, no. It's time. It's time. So James, thank you very much. Unless you have something else you want to add.
That's all good, my friend. What could I possibly add?
Excellent. Excellent. So thank you very much for being here with us today, and also for you guys, thanks so much for watching all the way through to the end. We will see you in next month episode. I don't think we've defined yet what we're going to be covering there.
Well, we're going to be in Zurich, so I don't know. We'll figure it out.
It's going to be good anyway.
We'll figure it out in a couple of weeks when I see you.
Excellent. Cool. Thank you guys. Have a fantastic month, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Take care.
Bye-bye.